Work for Europe, baby. Let's go.
Let's go.
Who's that?
What? I'm here.
Who is that?
Special guest. You guys gonna introduce me, or I gotta introduce myself?
No, you gotta do it yourself. We're not that professional.
Oh. I'm Ryan from Ryan Chadbourne Knife Works and the Hustle and Grind podcast. For everybody
right
who didn't
on.
know. I kind of snuck in here.
Great podcast. I was listening to that. I don't know when it started, like 4 years ago, when Jason Hartwell was the host.
Yeah.
Yep, we've come a long way.
Whatever happened to him?
He doesn't make knives anymore.
That's interesting.
Yeah, he was like, "Well, fuck this."
Fuck that.
And
Fuck this. I'm out.
I was the co-host at the time, and instead of letting the show die, I figured I could take it over and make it better, and I succeeded. I think. I like to think, anyways. So, yeah, it's going good. It's
very nice.
We're always growing. We had Jason Knight on last week.
Oh Lord,
he's a character. You guys should get him on. He's a surprisingly easy guest because you just give him a topic and he'll just go. You know.
Yeah, those are always the good ones. I think you've had him on 2-3 times now.
Yeah. I think this last one was the third time.
We're gonna put him on the list, Keith.
Yeah.
He should be an easy catch for you.
I think we got 2 more people booked out, and then we got open slots again.
I'm gonna get Fingal on. That's gonna be good as well.
He's coming on our show soon too.
No, I'm gonna tell him not to and go to our show first.
Well, he's already been on our show, so you're kind of late to the party.
That doesn't count. That doesn't count because we didn't have a podcast back then. So
he is on April 28th. So you got a month to get him to cancel with us. Okay. But if he does cancel with us and it's your fault, I might be a little salty about it because he's a fun guest. He's super fun to have on.
Yeah, I reckon the challenge accepted.
Yeah, he was just here in Austria a few weeks ago and took a class with Tobias Sangler. So he got to see the gold vein knife in person with the knife that Tobias made with gold inside of it. I don't know if you ever heard of that project before, Ryan? The gold vein project?
I've been I've been wanting to hold one of Tobias's pieces for a while. Everybody knows he's been on our show 3 or 4 times now, and he's brilliant.
Yeah, but at the same time, he's very easy to talk to, and he comes down to your level when he's explaining something so that you can understand it. Yes,
he dumbs it down for us plebes.
Yeah.
It's very
for
nice.
Us plebs.
Yeah, plebs. Yeah. We did like superlatives for 2023 for the show, and Tobias won Guest of the Year.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, right. Voted on by the listeners.
And who was the close second? Or was there nobody close?
Close second. I don't have the list anymore. Who was it? It was Jason Knight. No, Mareko. Mareko and Jason tied for second.
I had Mareko on. Jesus Christ.
Yep. Just once. I've tried to get him on again. He's a very busy man.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah.
So what was the coolest episode you ever did?
The funnest episode I ever did? Or the coolest?
No, funnest.
Funnest. I'm a huge MMA fan, and we had Jessica Rose Clark, a UFC fighter, on. That was pretty fun. That was more like fanboy fun, though. Learned fun, probably. God, Tobias is really good to talk to. I always leave those episodes feeling dumber because my brain is just exhausted from all the information that I'm absorbing. But he's super fun. Having our buddies on is always fun. You know, when like you get your actual buds on and there's no pressure of the interview itself. That's always nice and relaxing and fun. Even though Jason's a very easy guest, there's always like that anxiety beforehand, you know, like, holy shit, I have Jason Knight on.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like
celebrity.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if I could narrow it down to just one.
Well, you sound
episode.
like you don't give a fuck. So that's good.
What do you mean?
Well, you sound like you don't give a fuck about someone's status or something, you know?
Well, I mean, I've in the beginning, I think probably you have this like idea of these celebrities, and they're like, oh my God, this is so and so, or this is so and so. And then once you meet more of them and you get to know more of them, like they're just dudes, you know, they're just people like us who got into extraordinary situations, you know. I mean, Jason, if you listen to the episode, you can hear like a clicking the whole time, and he's slamming a cigar cutter closed in his fingers.
Yeah, I heard that. I picked that up on that episode.
Oh, that was that.
Yeah, that's what he was
Albert
doing.
and Keith were just so annoyed, probably. Because whenever I make one sound, they both are like, shut your fucking mic off.
Yeah, but what are you going to do? You're going to have Jason Knight on and tell him, hey, stop clicking that. No, you just let him do it. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, but Matt's not Jason Knight.
yeah.
I mean,
That's true.
I could be. No, I couldn't be.
That's true. I mean, if you listen back to the Dave Baker episode, he set off like an alarm on his metal detector, and his phone kept going off and stuff. You just kind of laugh it off. I mean, what? Can't get mad about it. Can't stress over it.
No.
It's done. It is what it is. I'm not good enough at editing to edit out clicking in the background.
So how much time do you spend editing?
Depends. If everything went smoothly, none. If there's been a couple instances where like a name got dropped or an opinion got said that I thought about before I posted it, and I was like, maybe that sounds kind of stupid, I'll just clip that part out. But for the most part, none.
Okay, so no like weird sounds or coughing or whatever.
No, it takes too long. Yeah, I ain't got time for that shit. But if like, let's say if the audio files aren't synced up quite perfectly and there's a delay, you have to go in and fix it because it's unlistenable if you don't.
I think me and Albert are too anal about that shit. Like, I'll go through and listen to, if it's an hour and a half episode, I edit for like 3 hours because I'm listening to the whole thing and like trying to take out every little cough or a lighter sound or anything.
You'll have quite a few lighter sounds in this one, so you might as well.
Like double the normal?
I chain smoke on podcasts, and it's
that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, it's a problem, and we were doing video for a little while, but using the platform we use, it's too much bandwidth, so we kept getting connection issues, and it was off-putting, I think, to people to watch me smoke half a pack of cigarettes in a 1-hour podcast. It's like, meh. Some guests have commented. They've been like, wow, Ryan, you smoke a lot. And I do smoke a lot, but I don't smoke as much normally as I do on a podcast. I think it's like a social thing.
You're sitting and talking. What else are you going to do?
Right.
There it is.
Yeah, amen.
There it is. And I mean, you guys can do what you want because it's your show. I don't worry about those little background noises because it just adds stress, and we got better stuff to do. And your listeners probably realistically aren't going to care, you know? Like, nobody's going to shut your show off because they just heard me flick my lighter.
No, that's what I said. Like, when I listen to other people's podcasts and you hear that, it doesn't bother me at all. But when I'm listening to my own, I'm like, oh, I can cut that out. It just takes 2 seconds. And before you know it, you've been doing it for like 3 hours.
Yeah, 3.5 hours of 2 seconds.
Right. And that makes sense because it's your baby, you know, it's your show. If I look at one of my knives and I see a perfection, it pisses me off. If I look at a buddy's knife and I see that same perfection, I'm like, oh, I understand why they didn't fix that. It's fine.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Yeah,
that's something though. If you're full time and trying to make money off of it, at some point you gotta just be like, that's enough. I'm like I said, I make 10 knives a year. It's because I stare at them all the time, and then if I come back the next day, I find something. Then you gotta fix it. But for me, it doesn't matter. It's a hobby, and I'm not pressed to like get shit done and make a living off of it. So.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, what are you after? You know, what is your goals in knife making? If you're wanting to make perfect, like as close to perfection as you can get art pieces, yeah, you're going to chase down that one flaw. But if you're doing batch work and you have an agreement with your client for humanistic error, where not every single knife will be unique in some way or another, then you can kind of let that stuff go, depending on your price point.
Yeah, so you just got done doing, was it one of your first batches? Have you done more than one batch, or?
I've done several. I've done a few batches of 50. This last batch in February was the biggest one I did. It was 83. It was 13 for one restaurant and 70 for another. And that was too much. That was too much in 1 month.
So it's 70 knives in 1 month you finished?
83.
Crazy.
In 3.5 weeks.
What was the batch that you just did, Albert? How big was that?
The one I just did was 30.
And how long did it take you?
Well, forever. No, because they were all set and finished by hand. RWL 34, which is a pretty tough steel to hand sand. I think it took me like 2 or 3 months in total.
Yeah, so you went a higher finish than I did. So mine was 400 grit satin on the grinder. The only hand sanding that was done was on the handles.
Mm-hmm.
And 85 knives, you said?
83.
83, Jesus Christ.
I was tired. My hands hurt. My back hurt.
Yeah, you're into the batch stuff, right? Was it like an order that like, when did that start? Like the bigger batches?
A little over a year ago, last October, was when I got the first one. And the first one was 50.
Mm-hmm.
And it's weird to transition from doing 1 at a time or 4 or 5 at a time to doing 50. Because you have to upscale certain levels of your tooling, your quenching ability, things like that. But once you get used to it, your shop almost becomes set up for production. So, yeah.
Yeah, you really have it like set up for the batch work.
I have everything in a row. I don't skip around on steps. So if I'm heat treating, that's all I'm doing. I'm heat treating until they're all done. If I'm doing even down to cutting up the pin stock, you do all of it at once.
Mm.
Because if you're jumping around, you're going to get behind, and you're going to have, if it's a batch of 50, you'll have 30 done and 20 left to do, and the deadline will be 3 days away.
Yeah, I kind of like that shit. Like getting it as efficient as possible.
Yeah.
Did you ever have like a complete batch fuck up?
I've never lost a whole batch. I always make extras. So if I do a batch of 50, I'll make 56 of them because my oven can fit 6 at a time. So it's just, it's 1 extra, whatever, run in the kiln. And then that way you have like a little bit of leeway. If one's super warped and you don't feel like straightening out a piece of bacon, you can just grab one of the extras and throw that one on a pile and do it later, when they order more. I've had some failures, like I've sucked knives I grind off a work rest, and I've sucked knives in between my platen and the work rest before.
That sucks.
Yeah, that split second, there's no fixing them, so but that's why you make extras. You always make extras. I have so many extra blanks laying around because if I get a custom order for a really fancy knife, I'll make 2. I'll get the second one ready to grind, and then I'll stop there. And then that way, if I fuck up the main one, I have a backup. I'm not, 2, 3, 4 days behind on making another blank.
That's pretty smart.
I was just working on that S-Grind tool rest that Tobias Hangler and Tobin Machines made. I think I've shown you those pictures before. And I had the flat grind done, so you do the flat grind with the cutting edge up, and when you do the S-grind section, you do the cutting edge on the platen. And I was bringing the knife back down again. It was almost finished. Bring it back down to the platen again, and I stuck it right between the platen and the wheel. Take a big chunk of the cutting edge right off.
Yeah,
it's a little bit shorter now.
Yeah, it doesn't take much. No, I want one of those jigs, by the way. I feel like of all the jigs out there on the market, that's probably the most feasible one that you won't forget your muscle memory on how to grind, because like the bolt-on jigs, you know what I'm talking about, like the angle. Yeah. You don't gain any muscle memory through those. So, and you can't feel the blade. Not I know guys use them, but it's not my preferred method. I feel like it's a crutch.
No, but this jig's awesome. It works, like you said. You get used to it. It does take a little bit to get used to, but relatively quickly you can get a decent grind out of it. And once you figure it out, it's like spot on. The spacing between the S grind and the cutting edge and everything, you can make everything even and without even thinking about it.
Yeah, the first time I saw it, I was like, that's it. That's a step past how I grind. So like when I'm setting up where I want my blade to be for the bevel to land where I want it, I'll take business cards and I'll push them against the platen, and then I'll push the knife against the business cards, and I'll mark where the edge of the knife is on the outside. Yeah. And then when you remove the business cards, don't let the spine go past that line. And that's a pretty good way for me to set my bevels in. And then your jig, or that jig, is just another step in that evolution, because you have that little tab of metal, and that acts as like a permanent business card.
That's pretty cool. It's like an upgraded version of a push stick. That's what it is.
Yeah.
I love it.
I use push sticks too.
Yeah, I think he just upgraded also. There was like the arm that you use to put pressure on the blade had like a bearing on it, and now it has some kind of a Teflon wheel or something, because the bearing did make some small like scratch marks on the blade when you pulled it through.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we can make that happen. We can get you one of those. Maybe I'll work out a deal and bring one home in July when I come and mail it to you.
Hey, that'd be awesome. I'd love to have one. You guys should link up with Ameribraid and get them manufactured and distributed in the U.S.
I've tried. He doesn't want to. He likes to stay small, and he does his batches when they're ready. They're for sale, and he's happy with that.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But okay, well, yeah. Do it for him.
Yeah,
that's what I would design. Do. No, not steal it. Just say I'll do everything, and I'll give you money.
Yeah, they sell one. He gets $50, whatever it is, and
yeah. We talked about that last time we met up, and he was actually talked to me about it. So I think he was considering it.
Get on it, Keith, before I do.
Yeah.
I just mentioned Ameribraid because I'm sponsored by them, and
I know
their machining work is phenomenal.
I wouldn't get it to Ameribraid though.
You'd get it to Mouseade.
Mouseade, baby, all the way.
Mouseade.
It's a thing on Instagram nowadays. Whenever you see someone that fucked up the bottom plate and put it on backwards, it says Mouseade.
Oh, I didn't realize that. If you flip the house mate over, it says Mouseade. That is funny.
We fucked up our revolution grinder.
Is it Mouseade?
Yeah, we always say it's Martin Huber because it's
Lord.
MH.
Oh Lord.
I fucked mine up too. Don't feel bad. So
a lot of people do.
Yeah. Well, mine was more. So mine's a Gen 1. So I built mine when Brian first started producing grinders, and
after his treadmill idea.
Yep, pretty much. And the reason why he made the legs longer is because of me. Because I bought a 3-horse motor, thinking I was big guy, and the 3-horse motors are longer, so I couldn't tilt it. So that's why if you ever see videos of mine, it's got like Star Wars AT-AT looking feet on it, because I had to raise it up off the plate. So I love my housemate. I'll never get rid of it. It was my first 2x72. I've made hundreds of knives on it, and it's a very robust machine. It's heavy as a motherfucker.
So, any knife news? Anything that you want to talk about knives? Or something new coming out? You want to tell us about your diamond grind?
The diamond grind. I mean, the diamond grind's basically an S grind on both sides with a shallower wheel. So you're doing a shallow or a steeper hollow on the spine of the knife, and then that way when you grind your flats, it makes a diamond shape. And it's not mine; it's Noah Vachon's. I stole it from him. He gave me permission.
And what's like the thought behind it? For food release or
well,
weight reduction,
I mean, that high up on the flat, it probably wouldn't help that much with food release, but it does look cool. but I don't like doing them anymore because they're a shitload of work, and it doesn't give you any. I don't think it gives you anyways any real practical application to the knife other than how it looks. But it does look cool. They do look nice, but they're a pain in the ass to do. And I'm always one of those people that, like, if you make it, that's what people will buy more of. So yeah. I haven't been doing them because then they won't be relevant in my feed anymore. You know what I mean? Yeah. They just take too long. You have to swap back and forth from the hollows and straighten the lines up constantly. And yeah, it's just, they're a lot of work.
Might be easier on that jig though.
Oh, definitely. 100%.
Yeah. Especially if you're doing batches and stuff, you can set your grind height and go through your 50 knives and go on to the next step.
Yeah, the 50 knives I do, all the batch work I do, the knives are much simpler. It's a shorter bevel. They're a very easy to shape. Which I suppose that's only because of the price point the clients are trying to hit. If, obviously if there was more money thrown at them, then your fit finish or the complexity of the knife can go up from there. But
what kind of batches are these anyway? Like steak knives for restaurants and
Yeah, steak knives for restaurants right now.
That's the same batch that Albert was working on, right?
I mean, I'm a whore for money. I'll make anything anybody will pay me to make. It's, I don't stick to a rigid. I don't like to be kept in a rigid box. Some guys will. I only make this, and I only make one-off art pieces, and I only do this. I only make things that get me money. That's what I'm worried about.
And Ryan is like, $20 is $20.
Yeah, $20 is exactly $20.
Before
for
taxes.
Sure. It's funny you say $20 too, because my wife and my coworkers at my day job say that they know when it's last $20 Ryan, because I'm a different person when I'm down to my last $20. So I try to avoid that. Apparently, I'm not very nice. I guess I get stressed and grumpy. Brian House refers to it as a scarcity complex from growing up poor. I believe he suffers.
Complex.
Yes, he suffers from the same affliction.
Okay. I doubt he'll ever get to that again.
No, he seems to be doing pretty good.
Yeah. Deserved, though. Well deserved.
I'm still getting there. I'm doing better than I've ever been. I'm doing better than I've ever done, but I'm not nearly where I want to be. So, if that makes sense.
It does. It's the way to go. If you are where you want to be, then there's no way forward.
Yeah, you're just waiting to die at that point.
Yeah. Oh, that's some deep shit.
That's deep. It's weird. I'm not a very deep thinker. I try not to overthink anything, If I can't make the decision in a few seconds, then I'll save it for later.
That sounds good.
Yeah, it'll just come to me. I'll be like in the shower, taking a shit, and I'll just be like, oh, that's the answer. Boom.
You take a shit in the shower, dude?
Not in the shower.
Why
not? God, we're not Neanderthals. We're not savages over here. Come on now.
Dude, that episode when you had Kayla Cummings on?
Yeah,
you talked about taking a dump, dude. You just ruined it for me.
I didn't ruin it. I did not know that was gonna... She said she shit in a water jug. Yeah. And if you...
What the fuck?
Dude, and she's a very attractive woman. She's a very lovely lady.
Yeah, I've seen her.
Super nice. She's been on Naked and Afraid a pile of times. And she just drops that bomb on my podcast. And I was like, whoa. I did not expect that. She just had a baby. Congrats to Kayla on the baby.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of babies, Tobias Angler had his baby too.
Yes. Congrats to Tobias. Tobias.
New father.
I say it wrong. Is it my microphone cutting out? Can you guys hear that?
I don't hear you cutting out.
Okay, cool. Might be my headphones. They're old.
Congrats on all the babies.
All the babies. Yeah. My baby is about to graduate from high school.
That's not a baby anymore.
No, he's taller than me. I'm a geezer now.
So you could be a grandfather soon.
I hope so. I hope
Well, you're young, yeah, why not?
I think I'm not a fan of teen pregnancy. I don't want to promote teen pregnancy, but I had him when I was 20, and I think that was a perfect age. That was fine. Yeah. Yes, was I prepared? No, I was not prepared, but...
You're never prepared.
You'll never be prepared to have a kid.
No, exactly.
And I'm 38, and he's about to turn 18, so it's like...
Oh, man, what a blessing.
He's going off to college. It's actually interesting. One of our knife making friends is a professor at that same college, and I was like, "Huh." It's like, keep an eye on this kid.
Who is this?
Nate
professor?
Walpole.
Yes, that's good.
Mm-hmm. He's in the same program, but he's not. Well, he's in an adjacent program. He's going for game development, and Nate works in game animation, I believe. Yeah, Nate's a great guy.
Yeah, I had my kids when I was 24 with the first one and 26 with the second one. So it's nice when you're young and you can still do shit. And especially like you say right now, when your son's 18 years old, it wasn't that long ago that you were out doing crazy shit. So it's easy to recognize when they're fucking up or they're gonna make a mistake. Like you're still like kind of up with the time, so that it's not such a big age difference.
Yeah, I got to be 100% honest. I was very blessed because I have two sons. So I have my son, and then my wife has a son who I've been his dad since he was 4. So, and he's 16. So I'm his dad. And they're both great kids. They're both straight A honor roll students. They don't get in any trouble. They work really hard. And I mean, they're both a little weird. They're teenage boys. They both stink. But you know, I'm very blessed. When I was a teenager, I ran away from home. I was out on the streets getting blasted, banging whores, just fucking being a wild, wild kid. And my kids are nothing like that. And I'm like, I must have either done something really right or really wrong. I don't know, but it worked. And they have no idea either. They don't know how wild their dad was when he was a kid. And I tortured my mother. And...
Isn't that the purpose of like being a good dad, is to make sure your kids don't make the same mistakes you did?
Yeah, probably. They never even like had the inkling. There was no like as soon as I discovered girls and alcohol and like partying and like hanging out with the bros and doing dumb shit, I was gone. I was like, this is what I'm going to do forever.
Yeah, I moved out when I was 16. I was still in high school.
Yeah, I was 14.
Rented a house with 2 buddies of mine. It was just a party spot.
Yeah.
That sounds like a terrible idea.
Yeah. I went and I was 14. I ran away and stayed at what you would call now a trap house, but back then they were called flop houses, where you would just like hang out with like 20 people lived in this house. Only 2 people were actually on the lease, and it was a shithole. I wouldn't change it though. Those were the days. My friends now, I gained as friends back then. Some of them are dead. Some of them are losers. You just cut those ones off, the ones who can't grow, and whatever. But my point was, like, my kids they never even desired to do that. I don't know if it's like the screens, like we didn't have screens back then, so we got bored easily. This was in the pager days, and no cell phones. You're just like, to interact with anything, you had to go out in the world.
Yeah, the only rule I had growing up was when the street light shuts off, you better be home. So we were gone all day long, everywhere. Did whatever you wanted. Nobody knew. Nobody, like you said, nobody could follow you or call you and check up on you.
Yeah,
that was
just
better,
out wandering. Though. Yeah, it was better. Just out wandering, getting in trouble.
Fucking chips on your kids these days, Need to know where they are every 2 seconds is not.
Roving gangs of teenage boys just causing havoc everywhere. We had railroad tracks by our house, so we would use the railroad tracks to travel around town. So, like, your parents couldn't drive by and see you because you were off in the woods on these railroad tracks just walking to the other end of town.
That's a big fucking no-no over here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, if you come near a fucking railroad track, they'll arrest you straight away.
They got the Amtrak police, or the equivalent to it.
Oh, no shit. Yeah, the trains weren't travel trains. They were like freight trains. So they would, when the train was coming, we'd just like step off to the side of the tracks, wait for the engine to get out of eyesight because the trains are super long. And then we'd just hop on one of the cars and ride it and then jump off.
Your railways are fucking awesome anyway, right?
They used to be. I don't know. Not probably so much anymore.
Jumping off the tracks everywhere.
Oh, we used to put all kinds of stuff on the tracks.
If you decimate the entire city, and no one's talking about it.
Pennies, coins, bricks. We were kids. We were like, let's see if we can derail a train. And then we figured out one day I found this huge, like probably 8-9 foot piece of rebar. And it fit over the both tracks. And I figured out that when you do that, it makes a connection and the closest crossing alarm goes off.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So we would just take that piece of rebar and lay it on the tracks close to the road and then just walk off, and people would be sitting there for hours. Ding, 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 ding,
fucking
ding. It just go on forever. And then somebody'd figure it out and move it and go about their day. Degenerate kids, man.
Yeah.
Degenerate kids, but not really degenerate.
No, we're just
good stuff. Around. Yeah.
We're just kids being kids.
Harmless fun.
I guess. I mean, if the train came and ran over.
There was a lot more fuck around and find out type shit as well.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, hurting yourself. How often, as when we were kids, did you have a scun knee or a fat lip or whatever?
Every day.
Yeah.
Every day I had something.
My kids are fucking, they ain't got a scar on them. I knocked both sets of front teeth out.
We used to ride with no helmets, if you can imagine. That's insane.
And I didn't even own a helmet.
The friggin' bikes back then, had these metal pedals on them with sharp ass teeth that would fucking jam you in the leg.
Your shins were fucked all the time, man. All the fucking time. And now they have these, kids need to wear fucking helmets on a bicycle. Come on, man.
Yeah. I know.
Even it's hurting the kids more than even if one fucking falls off and gets brain injury, that's the amount of kids that grow up wearing afraid to be on a bicycle. That's way more harmful to a population than some kids getting brain damage from a.
Yeah, my kids, they're terrified of all my knife making tools. They don't want anything to do with it. Because, I mean, if you've never felt pain, you're way more fearful of pain, I think.
This is a problem we have. I see it at my work all the time when new kids come in, the first few weeks or whatever, and they're working and they don't know how to do anything. They don't know how to use any tools because at home they're not allowed to touch anything. And now they're finished with school and you send them to the job site. And, they don't even know what to do because they were never allowed to do anything.
But those are the kids that make the fucking dumbest mistakes and the most harmful mistakes.
Cut a fucking finger off or something because they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then they'll start crying.
I mean, how can you grow into adulthood having never had a concussion? Your brain needs that damage to grow. It makes you stronger. That's probably not true, but I mean,
there's some truth to that.
My boss's kids, they're terrified of the dentist. And I knocked both sets of front teeth out. So my baby teeth, I fell off the pegs of a bike and ate the curb.
Yeah,
and then
the thing was, I was scared of the dentist as well, but I didn't want everyone to think I was a fucking pussy. So I just didn't tell anyone and fucking suffered through it. My ego was stronger than the fear of the dentist.
Yeah.
And nowadays it's oh, he's so brave, He's so brave. He dares to tell anyone he's afraid of everything.
Well, we grew up in the bullying era. I still bully myself more than anybody. Don't do that, you're a fucking pussy, or do this, and if you don't, you're a bitch, type stuff.
Yeah, I still bully my kids like that as well. I have to. they're not going to be ready for the real world if you don't.
No, it's, but the real world's changing too. I mean,
yeah, well, if you raise them like that, they're going to be fucking 5 steps ahead their entire life. They're not tough. Easily offended and not.
We call it tough love.
Yeah.
Yeah. Give them the tough love.
Yeah, Matt bullies me all the time online.
Yeah, it's not working. You're still a pussy.
Yeah. I say things like, not necessarily to my kids, but to my coworkers and in general. I say things like, what are you, retarded? Like quite a bit. And it works. I have a coworker who, in the 5 years we've worked together, he's gained 3 reading levels because I bully him so bad about being illiterate.
You illiterate piece of shit.
Yeah. He'll be like trying to read something. I'm like, you want me to read that to you?
Yeah.
Yeah, his spelling is so bad. Like, the other day I was like, spell dog. And he's like, dude. And I was like, all right, 4-letter word, spell kite. And he couldn't spell kite.
That's pretty bad, yeah.
Yeah. He can read it, but he can't spell it.
My spelling is horrible, and then after moving here and learning another language, trying to learn how to spell in German, it's just made, now I'm just horrible in both languages. It's made it worse.
Yeah, at least you guys are bilingual. I don't know any American that speaks more than one language. And if they do, I don't know about it.
That's because you don't have to.
Yeah, not here anyways. Down south, you should probably learn Spanish. Or West Coast, so you should probably learn Spanish. There's been a few instances where I should have, if I had known French, I would have been able to communicate because I'm close to Canada, but...
The French over here, I despise it, but I also kind of like it. They just talk French. Like, they don't give a shit where you're from. They refuse to talk English or whatever. They just like, fuck you, learn French.
That's the same in America. If somebody comes over and starts speaking another language,
but American is like English. A global language or something. I don't know. It's different than French.
Yeah. We'll be mad at you for not knowing English.
Yeah.
We'll be like, why'd you come here and you don't fucking know English? I know that attitude is frowned upon, though. But it is what it is.
So, Ryan, for how long have you been doing the Hustle and Grind podcast now?
I took over a little over a year ago, and I was on for about 9 months before that. So I came on around episode 46, and we're on episode 160 something.
So nine months and then rebirth.
Yeah, so probably close to 2 years now.
That's great. And then the Ameribraid sponsorship came like shortly after, right?
Shortly after I took over.
Yeah, that was fucking great for you guys.
Yeah, those guys are awesome. Sponsorship wise, we've been pretty fortunate. Phoenix Abrasives has been on since the beginning. And I think Jason landed Maritime Knife Supply. I can't remember, but Broadback was an early sponsor. Richard Beck from Beck's Armory's been a sponsor in the past. Now we have Ameribraid, Baker Forge and Tool.
Do you
Phoenix
still
Abrasives.
Also have the Broadback?
No,
right? No.
Yep. They weren't on for very long. And so we've got, who do we got? Ameribraid, Baker Forge and Tool, Phoenix Abrasives, Maritime Knife Supply, and Liquid IV.
Cool. Do we have sponsors, Keith?
We have 2 sponsors that we're working out a deal with right now, so we'll see. Hopefully it works out.
Can't name drop them yet, right?
No, not until they pay us.
Well, I think we have room for one more. And then, because if you get too many, then you have, 15 minutes of ads on a 1-hour show, and it gets fucking... So even now with 5, we forget to play the ads. We never shout out Liquid IV because that's like an automated one that I've never even spoke to them. It's through our broadcasting platform. But
yeah, the Full Blast has a lot. Like, he's got like 15 minutes of ads in the beginning, but he does it, so I just skip over him.
Yeah, which I'm pretty sure advertisers aren't fond of that method, but
it seems to be working for him.
I was just gonna say that he's much more successful than me. So what the fuck do I know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But also, I'm a smaller podcast, so I have to pay more attention to that shit. It's a lot harder for me to replace a sponsor than I think it would be for him.
Yeah. Agreed.
Do we also have Patreons?
Yeah, we have
on Hustle and Grind.
Yeah, we do an after show every episode for the Patreon. Not every episode. We've skipped a few lately. I think we're up to like 52 patrons, something like that.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm.
Not up to work for it levels though. I think Brian's got the most patrons.
300 or something, right?
He's got a pile of them. Yeah, I don't know what. I don't even know if Night Talk has a Patreon, but
don't think so.
No, they don't.
And how long is the after show?
Sometimes they're 15 minutes. Sometimes they're a full episode. It really depends on how we're feeling that day. Oh. Yeah, nothing. We don't ever have anything set in stone usually, other than like the time we record. That's why Noah and I are a great fit together, because Noah is very like organized and he needs a plan, and I do not. So it's a good mix because he will help wrangle me if I go on a tangent. I'm really bad about speaking about advertising. I'm really bad about forgetting to play the ads because I'm in the conversation. And Noah's really good at spotting those spots where we can take a break and play an ad. But you can hear that in every episode. We have a good dynamic back and forth, the two of us.
Mm-hmm. I agree, yeah.
Yeah, you have. It's a good listen.
You need that too.
Keep getting longer.
Yeah.
We don't have an after show, but it's like the last episode, Albert, what was it?
Oh, we recorded almost 3 hours.
It's insane, right?
Yeah, we had to upgrade our plan because we ran out of recording time this month. Because I didn't know that we can't record it long.
I like that one.
That we have a time limit.
I have no time limit today, so there's no hard outs on this at all. But just a warning, it is a blizzard outside, so it might get cold enough to trigger my heater. So if that happens, I'll just mute myself for a minute. But
yeah.
But
your episodes are pretty consistent lengthwise, right? They're all about an hour, a bit more, hour 15 minutes. So
yeah, we try and keep it in there. If the conversation's going really good, like Jason Knight went for 2 hours. Colton Aries filled in for Noah because Noah's on a camping trip, and Colton is a very smart younger dude, and he was very good at helping me wrangle that conversation. So that one went for about 2 hours. I think the record we have is 3 with Brian Cohn. But yeah, we try and keep it around an hour 15 for a few reasons, because we record on Sundays. I work on Mondays, so I gotta be up at like 6 a.m. Noah's on the West Coast, so he's 3 hours behind me. So like when we finish recording, it's about dinner time for him. So, but if the conversation's going really good, then you're not going to cut off good content.
Nope.
Yeah, you're not going to cut off good content because your fucking steak's going to get cold, you know?
Yeah.
If you listen to the show, you know we cater the way the show rolls to each guest. You know, Tobias's episodes are very much more scientific-based episodes. Jason Knight, we shoot the shit. This last one we talked about knives. Jason's very easygoing. Mareko was a good mix of both. Josh Prince was on. We talked about Damascus. You know, they gotta be into the conversation too. You know, it sucks when you feel like you're forcing your way through an episode.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Have you ever had a guest that was like that?
We've had shows that didn't get released. We've had
Why?
Yeah, it's.
I mean, you don't have to name anybody. I just was curious if that's happened.
We had an episode where I counted, and I said 3 words. And the other host, this was a while ago. Noah wasn't on the show yet. Jason was on the show, and I think he said 5 words. It was just a lot.
Silent.
No, it was 1 hour-long sentence.
Jesus Christ. Now
Great guy. I'm not going to name any names. It's super high energy. I might even go take that episode down after this, just so nobody can find it. But yeah, there's always ones that aren't fun. Or the worst ones though are poor internet connections.
Yeah, that's always aggravating.
Because we use Zencastr so we can see each other, and which requires more bandwidth. And
clothing.
Yeah. And if you're recording, the files get fucked up. So then it makes it a total nightmare. But
is he the first American we have on here? Yes, he is.
Did I break that again?
Or am I fucking forgetting someone now? I
was the first American on Forge Side Chat, too.
I mean, wow. I'm American, too, in case you guys forgot. So.
You don't count, you fuck. I'm kidding. You're like half. He's reverse Arnie. That's his name. Yeah.
I'm like from European descent, if that counts. I'm half English, half Irish.
You all are from European descent.
Yeah, especially in New England.
And you're like half Cherokee or something.
That fucking New York is like New Amsterdam. And that all of the areas in New York are named after Dutch cities.
I didn't know that. I knew Boston is basically New Dublin. So
there's a lot of that.
A lot of Irish in my area too. The Irish side of my family, the Coakleys, came here in the 1850s.
I'm going to tell you the origins of the Yankees. Do you know that?
No.
Okay, so 2 typical Dutch names are Jan and Kees. So whenever we were like there building that area, they would call us Jan and Kees Yankees. That's where the term Yankees actually comes from.
Oh, interesting. People from the South refer to everybody from up here as a Yankee. Because of the first Civil War. Mm-hmm. And then we got the New York Yankees, but New York Yankees is New York, Boston, or Massachusetts and above, which would be New Hampshire and Maine. We're Red Sox territory. I don't give a fuck about sports, so it's never been my thing, but
I used to like basketball, but it was way back in the day. It was in the time of Allen Iverson.
Yeah, I always had friends. My brother's super big into football and all that shit. Right. And he's like, I wish you got into football so we could talk about it.
You mean a hand egg?
Yeah, I don't care about team sports. MMA, some violence, some blood, we're good. I do enjoy a hockey game, but I'm in the Northeast. I'm in hockey territory.
But that's also because of the violence, probably.
Probably, yeah. And, I mean, hockey's a badass sport.
The best hockey movie ever, Slapshot. You must know that movie, right?
Oh, yeah. I don't know, man. I was a big fan of the Mighty Ducks. They came out when I was growing up. It was like I hit right at their age demographic.
Holy fuck.
Yeah.
Emilio Estevez. Those jerseys over here, those were popular, man.
Yeah, Emilio Estevez. That's Charlie Sheen's brother, man. My favorite all-time childhood sports movie, though, had to be The Sandlot.
That's a good movie, yeah.
Waterboy.
Oh, yeah, can't. I guess Waterboy is a sports movie. Adam Sandler did 2 good football movies because the remake he made of The Longest Yard was really good, too.
Yeah, that's right. But Gatorade, H2O. Yeah, it was so fucking good. Yeah.
What was the one about that he did about golf with Shooter McGavin?
Happy Gilmore.
He was like, yeah, there you go. That was a good one too.
Yep. You're gonna die, clown.
The guy from The Price is Right.
Long time ago.
Price is Wrong.
Yeah. I'm gonna be sad when Adam Sandler dies. I'm not usually like a care about celebrities kind of guy, but I started listening to his music albums on cassette tape before he ever made a movie.
On cassette. Kids don't even know what that is anymore.
I know.
He had an awesome comedy tape that was out. I don't know when this was, probably early 90s, where he Toll Booth Willie. He worked at the toll booth, and for you, sweetheart, it's $1.25.
$1.25, pal. Fuck you and all your lesbian fish-eating friends.
Yeah, everybody. It was like just him. It was just him working the toll booth, and everybody who drove by was like not paying and just like swearing at him and driving off. And
Okay, so my wife she's watching I don't ask me why, but she's binge watching Friends.
Gross.
That's so fucking gross. But anyways, like whenever I come home from the shop and she's watching, and I'll watch half an episode, I'm like, even Friends would be a fucking no-go today.
Yeah. Seinfeld.
Yeah.
I mean, but also those shows are lame as fuck. I remember watching them as a kid and being like, these are so funny. And then they came out on Netflix and I started rewatching Friends and I was like, this is the dumbest shit I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, it is. And it just baffles me.
But we're also inundated with data now, I mean, TV, and you can stream anything that's ever been made ever. And
I want it all, and I want it now.
Yeah, so that fakeness of sitcom TV is just we're over it as a culture, I think.
As a species, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like studio audiences, like, come on.
I had another question for you.
Okay. Bring it on. Bring on all
the questions. Joe Rogan.
I love Joe Rogan.
I know you do. You have a Joe Rogan tattoo.
I do on my shin.
Some fame.
Well, he shared it, and it was the worst reel ever. I didn't even think about it when I posted it. It was like 3:00 in the morning, and I had slippers on, and I was shaving his face on my leg with a knife I had just sharpened. The blade was still taped up, and I posted it, and I went to bed, and then another maker who knows me, who knows Joe Rogan, sent it to him, and he shared it and tagged me in it. Huh. And I woke up to my phone vibrating off the dresser from the notifications. Yeah, my notifications didn't stop for 2 days.
Insane, right?
It was nuts. It's all calmed down now. That was 2 years ago. But it definitely was a massive help. It's strange that people exist who, if they even say your name, it will change your life.
That's what I was gonna say. That's so weird.
I've gotten shit from my friends for that tattoo. Like, you got another man's face tattooed on you. Worth it, 100%. I have Johnny Cash on my thigh too, and whatever. That's a big tattoo though, and I ain't posting that one on Instagram.
Why not?
Because it's on my thigh. It's like right by my dinghy. It's like, it takes up my whole thigh. It was a 12-hour piece.
Damn.
Yeah. My wife hates that tattoo.
When you sit down, your nuts rest on Johnny Cash's face?
No, he's on the top. But
okay.
Like, if I'm taking a shit, I'm looking at Johnny Cash.
It's pretty cool, right? Worst things to look at.
Well, I mean, sometimes when you get tattoos, you don't really think through the placement.
Nope.
It is what it is. Almost none of my tattoos are planned ahead of time because I have 2 brothers who are tattoo artists. So, sometimes they're like, yeah, they're like, I'm bored. I'm like, all right. And they're like, what do you want to do? I'm like, I don't know. Then we just figure something out.
Let's do Joe Rogan.
Yeah. I think my next one's going to be a Pickle Rick from Rick and Morty when he's wearing the bionic suit made out of dead rat parts. I'm Pickle Rick. I love Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
You got any tattoos, Matt?
I have a few. Yeah. I just keep getting like smaller ones and placing them wherever the fuck. Like, and the last one I got was like my youngest kid's name is Julius. And so I had his name with the Julius Caesar thingy. Like the leaves.
Yeah.
And then my other kids is like really into dinosaurs and shit. So I tattooed Triceratops with his name. Shit like that. Like, at first you want your tattoos to be like cool as fuck. And now I just get whatever. I have like hard work, good luck on my wrist now. Just because the fun of it. It's a good slogan.
Is House paying you for advertising fees?
Yes, every time.
Okay.
It's like, no, he
like,
doesn't.
3 people saw my tattoo today. You owe me $37.
Yeah, I'm keeping tabs. No, Brian is doing enough for me.
I have a hodgepodge. I've got tribal. I've got biomech. I've got Japanese super colorful stuff. I've got a koi fish. I've got 2 demons on my shoulders that I got when I was 18. And I was like, those are so badass. And they are nice tattoos, but I hate them now because it's not my energy. I've got Joe Rogan on my shin. I got Johnny Cash. I got a huge Buddhist quote on my arm. I've got all kinds of stuff. Never ends. I go for coverage though. I like long sessions. I feel like
yeah, that's what I did on the big pieces, but like the last ones were just like my barber started tattooing, or I found out he was also tattooing like on the side. He's a very cool dude, so yeah. Just went to him a few times, got like small tattoos, which was pretty fun. And I got one in fucking where was that? Croatia. We just walked by a shop and I was like, oh yeah, let's do one. On the worst place you can imagine. Like on the inside of your elbow.
Oh, that's not the worst. It's bad,
no,
but it's not the worst.
No, okay, agreed. But it was like the type of tattoo is one of those original Croatian tattoos, which is like very thick and dark and like... and obviously it was on vacation, so I jumped in the pool right after it, and it got all sorts of bad shit on it.
Oh yeah, nice and chlorine burn.
Yep.
I have both of the ditches of my arms done. The area you're talking about. And
yeah, me too.
They suck. It's not fun. The back of the knee though, way worse. I have both the backs of my knees done, and it's just not enjoyable in any way, shape, or form.
No, it's just the skin that's so it's like baby skin or something. I don't know.
Yeah, the back of the calf isn't real great either. It's not a fun spot.
I agree. No, it's just it is okay for a bit, but like when it takes a little time and those thick outer lines and stuff, it's just nasty.
For me, it was the wrist, right on like the almost where your hand, where your wrist bends, that area right there. That was the worst.
That's what I have. The hard work, good luck, and it's right over a big ass scar there. And I have like a ginormous scar from an up. Like, no, I'm not suicidal. I have like a scar from an operation there, and he went right over it. That's some fuckery. I could feel that in my entire hand. Scars are weird, man.
I wasn't expecting it. I have my dog's heartbeat on that spot, and I just went in and I was like, "Hey, you want to do Carolyn's heartbeat on my wrist?" And he's like, "Yeah, sure, bruh," because that's how my brother talks. And so I sat down, and he's from Maryland. But he's lived up here most of his life. But he talks like a fucking surfer. It's funny. He's my best friend. He's awesome. But I didn't expect it. I sat down and I'm like, both of the backs of my calves are done. Those were 6-hour tattoos. So by the end of it, you're pretty fucking tender. And he touched me on the wrist, and I was like, holy shit. It's like, that's a sleeper spot. He's like, oh yeah, it sucks right there. The bingo wing, like the flabby part of the underside of your arm, that's a pretty shitty spot too.
Yep.
I'm covered. I've got 2 full sleeves. Both of my legs are pretty covered.
I have like one sleeve that was like also like done as a sleeve, but I kind of regretted filling up the things. I like the what do you call that? Like Brad Pitt in Fight Club type tattoos, just fucking random as shit everywhere.
The puzzle pieces.
Yeah, just random as fuck, like get whatever the hell you want, wherever the hell you want, whenever the hell you want.
I think my worst one, when I was younger in high school, I had a Chevy pickup truck that I like had lifted and big tires and everything on it, and I was like 16 years old. Been building in it, waiting to get my driver's license, and then when I finally got it, I had the stupid truck tattooed on my arm, so I got like this hillbilly monster truck tattoo on my shoulder.
That's cool, man. Yeah, I started with one of those. It was like the tribal of the 2000s. It's like the Maori style, the New Zealand type stuff.
Oh, don't go to New Zealand. I heard you have to have permission to get that shit.
Yeah, well, fucking sue me. What are you going to do, shave it off?
Yeah.
It's just, and that was like a real hype type thing. And then my older brother, I think he was 17, I was 15. No, he was 18. And he was polite enough to ask my parents. And they were finally like, okay, you're 18, do whatever the hell you want. And I was 16. I made an appointment the same day, and I had mine before he had his, which was quite the spectacle back then.
Yeah, it's weird how some tattoos can you can tell what your age is from the tattoo. No younger women are getting tramp stamps. Nope. No younger men are getting barbed wire on their bicep.
Yeah, barbed wire, good one.
Or the tribal, that's a good tell too.
Yeah, tribals were. Yeah, but I never regret any tattoo, so I don't care.
Yeah, you can always have them lasered off and covered up.
No, like if it was a dumb tattoo, it meant something at the time. So, what the hell?
Yeah, I'm not attached feelings to my tattoos.
No, me neither. But like the first ones you get, at least for me, it was like you try to make a big deal out of it. But then after a while, you're like, fuck it. They don't have to mean anything to me.
Once
I have a massive microphone on my arm, and I don't have anything with a microphone. It just looks cool. One of those old school microphones. I was like, oh, are you a musician? Like, nope. Not at all. Podcaster. Yeah. Albert, you need to send me a link of one of those.
Of what?
One of those old type microphones.
Sure.
Okay.
Man, a few words.
A man, a few words.
So you guys familiar with Ben's Cuts?
Yeah.
A little bit, yeah.
Oh.
I got a package from Ben the other day.
Ooh.
For me and Noah. He sent us coin purses made out of a kangaroo's nutsack.
Oh, yeah. I've heard this before. I think you're not the only one that has one of those.
I'm kind of stoked on it because I do collect silver coins, and I probably have just enough to stuff into this nutsack. I don't know how Noah's going to feel about it when I send him his, but I had him right here, and that made me think of it.
That's pretty awesome.
Ben's a funny guy. Unfortunately, when he was on, I was extremely sick. It was the only episode I missed. And I feel like because I wasn't there and Noah's the more professional one, we didn't really get the Aussie out of him. You know what I mean? So we'll have to get him back on.
He's probably going to be down for that.
I'm sure he is. He messages me every day.
Ben's Bites, and what was the other guy's name? There's another one like that in the UK with a name like that.
Not Ben's Bites, Ben's Cuts.
Ben's Cuts? But there's also Ben's Bites.
There is a Ben's Bites.
Yeah.
He has me blocked, and I don't know why. So, Ben, unblock me, bro. What the fuck?
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not listening to this podcast.
I was about to say something rude. I won't do that.
No.
There's like, okay, that was the name. There's also Brad's Bits.
Yeah, that's Brad's Bits,
so Ben's Cuts, Brad's Bits. And then Ben Cuts, Brad's Bits.
Brad Spitz.
Yeah, Brad's Bits. You know?
No, there was a story on an Australian podcast. I can't remember the name of it. Something Down Under. And one of the guys got one of those coin purses at a knife show. And then when he was traveling back on an international flight, they wanted to know what this thing was because it was a piece of an animal, like animal fur and stuff. And so he had to tell him that it was a kangaroo nutsack.
And then they shot him?
No, they didn't shoot him.
Oh.
It's not like the Hooper episode.
Martin Hooper. That was a good story. I thoroughly enjoyed that.
I listened to the Trollski episode. He's a fucking character, huh?
Yeah, I'd like get him on.
I'd love to. I think his
amazing.
personality would be perfect for a guest for our show.
yeah.
He would do it for him.
That's just talk about a no bullshit guy.
And the accent, his English makes it even funnier.
Yeah, it's great. It's exactly what you expect from Trotsky.
He's Polish, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got that legendary Polish power.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a tough people, man.
Yeah, there's some hardy dudes coming out of Poland.
No shit.
Yeah.
Imagine like the placement of that country being like between Germany and Russia.
Mm.
Yeah, that's not a place for pussies.
I bet you don't see a whole lot of fat dudes on hover rounds shopping in Poland.
No. Nope. Were you referring to your own country?
Yes, absolutely. Oh,
yeah.
I see morbidly obese people on scooters daily.
Yeah, it's insane.
Like, I'm 6 foot 240,
and
and
I don't know
see
what that means.
240 pounds.
Yeah, I still don't know what that means.
So that's like 110 kilos or something like that.
Oh, we're the same.
And I see people who have legs the size of my body.
That's
yeah.
Oh my God.
Almost on a daily basis.
Yeah.
We have whole TV shows about it. My 600-pound life. That's why I say the term sodies.
But it used to be Jerry Springer, and now it's like fucking mainstream.
Yeah, hoarders and fat people.
Yeah.
I love that show, Hoarders. I don't know why. It's fucking gross.
What was that on Hoarders as well with the fucking woman? I saw that on Joe Rogan, by the way. That fucking collected her own shit.
Yeah, the poop hoarder. Yeah.
Like, what the fuck, dude?
She's like, I've been eating this for 20 years. Why are you guys mad about it now?
Wow.
Damn, lady.
Dang.
That was gross.
That was fucking disgusting.
That show, Strange Addictions, that's pretty funny. Like, it's kind of sad because those are real people, but at the same time, I need to be entertained, and it's pretty funny.
That one, the one when like somebody likes to eat toilet paper, and they have like weird shit like that they do. Yeah,
one guy was in a sexual relationship with his car. One lady was eating drywall.
It's just, some of that is just fucking bullshit, right?
I don't know.
Like, is it real?
They got to find these people somewhere.
But yeah.
One woman ate her husband's ashes, and she was like sad that they were all gone.
That's the least weirdest one.
Yeah, she said it started because she got some on her finger one day, and she said it felt disrespectful to just throw them away, so she like licked it off her finger, and then kept eating them, the ashes.
Fucking hell, dude. That's some weird shit.
Yeah, the car lover guy was the funniest though, because he had to tell his dad. So he had to be like, Dad, I'm in a relationship with my car. This is my girlfriend.
Yeah, I remember that. That's some fucked up shit to begin with. But the more fucked up thing about it is that you actually need to tell somebody that. Like, why? If I had something like that, I would not be telling anyone.
No.
I don't understand.
If people just need to stop sharing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a little too much info.
But then, I mean, they do get on TV. Tell me if I'm swearing too much, because
No, this is Europe, man. This is Europe. We can do whatever the fuck we want here.
Except make angry Facebook posts, I've heard.
I don't give a shit. Why?
Ain't no guns. You guys don't have cool guns like we do.
Yeah, man. I'm so jealous of that. So fucking jealous.
It's too bad you can't see me. I would grab my AR that's within arm's reach and I'd show it to you.
Yeah. Fire a few rounds. On air.
Couple desk pops.
Man, we have them here too, but we're not allowed to own them.
Yeah, we're just not allowed to walk around with them.
Which is even worse, I suppose.
We're luckier here, I think, because of states versus like you guys are governed by just your government, and we have state government and federal government. And
yeah, well, we're getting there, but not in a good way.
No.
No, of course not. It's like the EU is turning into a fucking SIB version of the United States.
They just legalized marijuana in Germany though, so we're getting closer to that.
Finally. That took you a while.
Yeah, that's state by state here too. It's
been legal here for as long as I can remember.
Yeah, he's in the Netherlands. If you didn't know that, Ryan.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
So when I was younger, we used to drive to Maine all the time to Portland and go to like raves up there. And we got pulled over once, and somebody had just smoked in the car, and the cops were like, "Who's got the weed on him?" And we're all like scared shitless. We're like 18, 19 years old, and he's like, it's not against the law here. And then like everybody pulls shit out of their pockets and puts it out on the dashboard.
You went to raves, huh? What kind of DJ? Which DJs?
Oh, this was, I don't know, but back in like the mid 90s or so.
Oh, God, those were the times, though.
The 90s were the times, yeah. Early 2000s. I was born in 85, so I still remember the 90s.
We had that hardcore shit over here back in the day. Like the Masters of Hardcore. You know that? Any one of you?
No, I can't even listen to that shit anymore. If you're not on drugs, that music is shit.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Like hardcore rock music or like EDM?
No, it's like, I can't even begin to explain that to you. You had like happy hardcore, and you had like, Keith, do you know what I mean?
No, I don't know. Explain it.
I don't know. Everyone had a fucking bald head, and they were kappa, like fucking trainer, how do you say?
Like jogging? Like
like that.
Like Adidas tracksuits?
Yeah, yes, exactly like that. And then fucking Lonsdale, those puffy coats and everything, and it was wild. And everyone was on ecstasy. Everyone. Yeah. It's just, if you Google that, like in YouTube, and like 90s hardcore, like Holland, that you'll get like insane footage of people just fucking wild.
I think the rave scene like started in Holland, didn't it?
Yeah. I think that the fact that we produce so many good DJs is all. It started there because everyone was crazy on that.
Holland's known for its kickboxers, isn't it?
Yes, exactly. I was gonna start this conversation with you anyway, so yeah.
Yeah, Muay Thai and Lethwei. I think a couple of the champions were from Holland. It's weird to see just these.
It's still like we have Rico now, the big guy, Rico Verhoeven.
Yep, he's a beast. Yeah, it's like, weird when you watch them fight because they're fighting mostly Thai guys, and they're these humongous blonde-haired, blue-eyed dudes just wrecking people.
Yeah, and like they're fighting in such an ugly way. Like it's not like Rico Verhoeven. It's not like appealing to watch. The way he fights, but it's so lethal. It's insane.
You have to really love violence to watch Muay Thai competitions, and especially Lethwei competitions, because like in Lethwei, so like in MMA, if you get knocked out, fight's over. In Lethwei, you get a 3-minute break, I think it is. I think it's 3 minutes to recover, and then you can come back after getting knocked unconscious. So
that's crazy.
Yeah.
I love the whole no gloves thing that's happening right now.
Yeah, bare knuckles making a big.
Oh, man.
You know, they were worried about it. They were like, oh, dudes are going to break their hands. They're going to cut each other.
Bullshit.
You can't hit as hard if you don't have a glove on. So
exactly. And I don't know. It just changes the entire dynamic because the glove, it not only protects, like what you said, the other man's face, but it also protects your own hands. Mm-hmm. So whenever you make like a stupid punch, like right on the skull or something, it just, it's going to hurt you too. So, yeah.
It's interesting how it translates over too, because if you look at Bare Knuckle FC, Mike Perry is the king of bare knuckle right now. And he did okay in the UFC. He did pretty good in the UFC, but I didn't ever see him fighting for the belt. But he goes over to bare knuckle and he's fighting former UFC champions, and they're quitting after the first round.
Yeah, it's just real, Mm-hmm. It's just that. I mean, that's how an actual fight would go.
Yeah, Luke Rockhold got his fucking front teeth knocked out. Eddie Alvarez got his orbital broken.
They don't wear the teeth thingies?
No, he broke him through the mouth guard.
Oh my God.
Smashed him. And Luke Rockhold got punched, realized his teeth were smashed, was like, I'm done. No way. You ain't paying me enough.
Okay, so question. Jake Paul and Mike Tyson.
Oh, God. I think it's disgusting.
Same.
I want to see Mike Tyson decimate him.
Same, but, what's comforting for me is that Jake Paul cannot win this, whatever the fuck happens.
Right, even if he wins, he loses. Everybody's going to hate him.
But and exactly for the right reasons. Because you're a fucking douchebag if you win from, like, past his prime, Mike Tyson.
Right. But, on the other hand, he's past his prime, but he's still Mike Tyson.
It is. So if he gets that style, it's just I've never seen it after Mike Tyson ever again. Like, he's like fucking like a millimeter away from you, and he'll hit you like it's just so he's so close up to these guys. He fucking knocks them out. I can't stop looking at it when you see like these compilations of Mike Tyson. It's
the closest I think I can think of off the top of my head to Mike Tyson in MMA or boxing, as far as like that peekaboo style, is probably Chad Mendes.
Yeah, he's kind of built the same way.
Yeah, he's short and stocky, and he can just kind of boop boop and bounce around you. But yeah, if you watch the training videos from Mike Tyson right now,
I've heard that the ones that really pop out, that someone said that those are old videos.
The ones where he's wearing like purplish boxer shorts, like underwear, and you can see his dink flopping around, those are 3 years old. Those are from the Roy Jones Jr. fight. That's still only 3 years ago. There's one where he's like slamming a medicine ball on the ground, and he's like, "You still want to fuck with me?" That's a recent one.
I mean, if like, and everyone knows that both Paul brothers, douchebags, I think they're juiced up like crazy, right? They're like medicine labs or something.
Probably definitely Logan, because who cares if they're juiced up in the WWE?
Yeah, that.
I personally,
degenerates.
I'm not against steroids. I need to be entertained. I think they should have a steroid no weight limit class. So it's like a juiced up.
Do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah, juiced up 135er, or you could even go 2 juiced up 135ers versus a heavyweight. A juiced up heavyweight, see what happens.
Yeah, that would be fun.
They do that in Russia. Russia has like, if people want to see them fight, they're going to fight. They got midget fights, they got cripple fights, they got slap fights where women slap each other on the booty. They have everything. I don't think there's any laws against it over there.
They have some great laws over there.
Whatever makes money, right?
They have
pretty much
fucking amazing laws over there.
Yeah, I support that ban on GMO food over there. And, adding chemicals into your food. Being an American, I see it firsthand. Our food is absolute poison. It is horrible.
This is true.
And everybody knows it. Everybody knows it. You guys know it about us. We know it about ourselves. And yet, it's still poison.
I saw like a post on that the other day, and there was like a ginormous crowd under it replying that like the bread in Europe is so great. I'll tell everyone like that's a load of horseshit. We're not far away from you guys.
Your bread's not that far from ours. I've heard it's not as sweet.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it's still better, but it's not like they acted like we are like that. Everything we eat here is still like untouched and not fucked with, but that's bogus.
Yeah,
you guys are just worse at everything,
Yeah,
it's like whatever you guys do 2 years later, we do the same.
Yeah. We are trendsetters. We were the first one to beat you guys.
Yeah, good and the bad way.
I guess. I don't know.
Beat us?
I haven't met an American yet who's not proud to be an American. So we all have our national pride.
Yeah.
I promised Noah that if you guys started bashing America, I was going to let you guys have it.
Oh,
why does everybody think we bash America all the time?
I think it's a common thing with Europeans.
We only bash you when you deserve it. Like
I mean, we deserve everything equally.
Fucking miles and that kind of bullshit.
Yeah, our government is not cool. They do some not cool shit. But Americans,
like you're ahead in everything. Like also in the worst way. Like your fucking LGBTQ plus movement and all that fucking bogus.
But
you're like the worst.
Don't rope me in with them motherfuckers. They do not speak for us all. I promise you.
I know that, but it's still like you're way ahead of us there as well.
I almost wonder. Yeah, let me put my tinfoil hat on for a second. Do you almost wonder if that's because the elites who are making decisions based on a wider social level outcome originate in America? Maybe.
They don't originate in America?
No, I'm asking.
They do.
They do. Like maybe that's why all that shit comes out here first, and then you guys follow suit. Because it's not the citizenry.
No, it's not. It's not at all. I think that America is just, or America, like Americans are just
cool. We're the coolest.
No, you're like extreme in everything.
Yeah, Tobias on our show said that we're the Florida men of the world.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Which I would say Aussies are the Florida men of the world. But,
Aussies?
Yeah. Every Australian I've ever met has been out of their mind. In a good way. But I feel like they're way wilder than we are.
Wild. I heard like Australia, like the government over there is terrible as well.
Yeah, that's true. They drop. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not even going to bring up the C word, but they didn't do very cool stuff. Yeah, they didn't do very cool stuff during the Roni. No. But I mean, we get to blow shit up. Like I could. It's snowing out right now, but tomorrow I could run down to the gun store, buy 10 pounds of tannerite, and blow up a refrigerator in my backyard if I wanted to.
Yeah, that's fucking great. And it's not that you're going to. It's just the like knowing you have the ability.
Yeah, you save it for special occasions. You know, a big barbecue. You and the bros are hanging out. Why don't we blow up a car today? Okay, let's go drop $400 on tannerite, legal explosive, and pack it into the trunk of this car and shoot it with a gun until it blows up.
Oh, yeah, that's the most American thing I've ever heard.
Can you hear the eagles screeching behind me? Yeah. But, like I said before, it's state by state. So it depends on where you live. If you're in California, New York, anywhere on the West Coast, that's not going to fly.
So is it going to be like a civil war?
Oh, geez.
What's the end game?
I don't know.
Well, do you still have your tinfoil hat on?
Well, I don't know. It would take a lot to push it to that point, I think.
I don't know.
Because what you see in the news is not the reality. That's how the whole term fake news was coined. You know, I mean, I don't see these psycho leftists attacking people in public ever. I see blue collar people going to work when I'm at the store and they're coming home from work or whatever. I don't see, but also that being said, I don't live in a metropolitan area. There's 1,000 people in my town.
You live in what town in Maine do you live in?
Bradley.
Okay. How far is that from Denmark? Do you know where Denmark is?
Denmark, Maine?
Yeah.
I don't know. I can Google it right now. Give it a goog.
Goog. When I was younger, my uncle had a house there in Denmark that he made, and we used to go up every Christmas right after Christmas Day. We'd go up there and stay for like 3 weeks, and the only store in town was called Jim Bob's. It was like this little convenience store that sold like you could rent videotapes or buy guns or groceries or. The most hick store I've ever seen in my life. Jim Bob's.
It's
Jim Bob's. You could rent videos, buy guns, and groceries.
Yeah.
It's 3 hours away. It's 2 hours and 57 minutes. It's 160 miles, so whatever that is in kilometers.
I don't know what it is in kilometers, but it's better in kilometers.
It's a 2 hour drive. 3 hour drive.
Yeah. Maine's a huge state. I mean, the U.S. is humongous.
Yeah, it's ginormous, man. It's...
Like, even for me, when I go to Atlanta, because I'm from the Northeast, I'm going to the Southeast. It's, you know, if I drove there, it would be a 20-hour drive. And it's a totally different world. It's like I don't even.
You can. Did you ever leave the United States?
I don't know. I don't even have a passport.
So that's like imagine my entire country. You can drive through it in 4 hours.
Yeah, it takes me. If you drove from the bottom of Maine to the top of Maine, it'd take you 8 hours.
See, try to wrap your head around that. That's my entire country. Is 17 or 18 million people.
Yeah, we got 1.2, I think, in the whole state. Is it? Yeah, we're all spread way out. There's plenty of space. I mean, that's why I think a lot of Americans aren't, like we're considered not well traveled. Well, we do travel. We just travel inside America because there's plenty of stuff to see here. What
I don't understand, and maybe, is how the hell did the founding fathers got it so, like, basically you guys were like Europe, well, without the history. So not like Europe, but and they turn it into like the United States. It would almost be the same as Europe would turn into something like the US. But how did
they know what to do? How did they
have to know what to do, and also, but how do they, like, put the greater good being like America in front of their own like local?
How they teach us that it was done, and like how we learn in school that they were able to come up with the system that we have is they were all different men from different walks of life, and they basically just got together and took out everything that they hated about the monarchy and what they were under before. And we've strayed very far from their original idea. I mean, we went to war with you guys over a 3% tax, and now we're taxed 30+%. So
30+%. I thought the tax was way better than here.
No,
it is.
No. It depends on what bracket you're in, how much you make. If you're poor, you don't get taxed as hard as you do if you're rich. But if you're rich, you also have more things that you can write off, or things
I think it's like 50% over here if you're rich.
That's a lot.
It is.
Why would anybody want to?
I heard someone like, I think in Florida they don't even pay taxes at all, apparently, and not
certain
much.
Certain tax. Yeah. So we have all kinds of different taxes. I mean, you got income tax, sales tax, Social Security tax, Medicaid tax.
21% over here.
Yeah, it's nuts. Australia's pretty bad too. When UFC fighters go over there, they lose 46% of their purse to the government. And then they have to pay income tax again when they get back here. A lot of fighters refuse to fight in Canada or Australia because I'm going to lose 2/3 of my money right off the bat.
So what's happening in Canada? You've been following that, surely. That's the closest to what's happening over here as well.
Oh, that sucks, guys. That's I mean,
like what's that fucking gay man's name? Trudeau. That's fucking dumbass. He's like best friends with our prime minister. And he's going to be the fucking head of the NATO. Not Trudeau, but our prime minister. That's going to be a fucking shit show.
I get baffled because people are still voting these people in.
Not here. They've like, our system is so fucked. You can't even. It's like they voted him out. I think it's almost a year ago. Several times they had like some fucking scandals and shit like in politics. So, and then they just called him like I don't know. It's like demissioner prime minister until the next government is there, and they just form a new government with the same people, just different jobs for every minister, every top guy, and and they are not to be held accountable for the previous fuck up. It's so fucking wild, man.
Yeah, I don't even know what to make of it. I mean, because they're trying to do it here too, but it's the benefit of the state by state, republic system. We're not a democracy here. We're a constitutional republic. And it's, that's probably the only thing slowing them down at this point, because they want everybody to, eat bugs, and you will own nothing and you will be happy.
Eat the bugs.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't know you guys would go all like political on me here.
Oh, I told you I would.
I try to avoid it.
It's not us, it's just Matt.
Sorry.
Yeah. The world, everything will correct itself, or it won't. Well, I mean, what are we going to do about it? I'm just going to keep making knives. It will correct
itself, because the enemy is a death code. So it doesn't matter, at least to death anyway.
Yeah. It's
put
weird,
the
though.
planet in front of your, like put it before your need to reproduce. Guess what's going to happen? You're going to stop your existence will end. So if you don't reproduce, and you think that putting kids on this planet is like a danger to the planet, you'll go extinct.
That's interesting. So do you think that's their goal? Do you think it's more to slow down human reproduction?
They want to depopulate the world, right? Save the planet. Don't make kids, because do you know how much carbon like a human being produces? Right.
I hope that realistically that's
stupid.
If we're correct, and this conspiracy theory is what is actually happening, that's probably best case scenario, as opposed to a mass genocide across the world, where we watch our family and friends get murdered. I would rather, if they were to succeed, I would rather it be in that way, where we're all sterilized and we just can't reproduce for one generation or whatever it is. Not that I want that to happen, but if I had to pick two outcomes, where they wage war on us with drones, or they give us a fake shot to cure
That's not very American of you.
Yeah. It's not American of me. I'm just saying, between the two options, that's the best case scenario. Let the drones come, you're in the best place to be attacked by your government. Every time I see those videos of them attacking people with small radio controlled drones that are drone size, they're not huge up in the atmosphere. Mm-hmm. I'm like, a 12 gauge would take that right out. What do you know?
But it'll probably release the bomb way before you see it. You see that in fucking Ukraine now, with those fucking drones with those bombs on it. That's fucking terrifying, because you can just fucking let an army of those fly itself to everywhere, and that's scary. I think that's scary as shit.
The American in me, though, starts thinking could I build a net gun that shoots a steel cable net, and that will tie up the rotors?
You need to go the Israeli way and build a fucking Iron Dome.
Those are impressive. We built that for them, didn't we?
I don't know. You funded them, that's for sure.
Yeah, we fund everybody. You're welcome.
No, it's you fund them, but your economy also drives on making that stuff. So you're also funding yourself.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
What did George Carlin say? It's a big club, and you ain't in it. And I ain't in it either, brother. Don't worry.
Yep. Okay, knives.
Knives. Where's that knife guy? He fell asleep, I think.
Albert just he's so good at knowing when not to interrupt.
all his politics talk.
I know, isn't it insufferable? It's like, you bring me on here and then we talk about the thing people want to hear about the least.
Yeah. But it's Matt's fault. He always wants to talk politics. With his conspiracy theories, we're all getting sterilized. And if we're not getting sterilized, then they're coming with bombs.
My wife's trying to sterilize me. It's like, Jesus.
Oh, Lord. Why?
Getting it from all directions. Because we're old. We ain't having any more kids. And then that way she doesn't have to take birth control, which is, it's all it is chemical hormones.
Yeah, bad shit.
Yeah. But
it hurts like a motherfucker. Yeah, so I did it 10 years ago. It hurts like crazy for 3-4 days. If the wind blows on you the wrong way, it hurts.
I don't want to do that.
I don't want to do it either. And I worry about
I don't think it's not manly.
Right.
Yeah, but it's worth it after that.
No, it's not. You don't have balls, Keith.
Yes, you do.
No, you don't.
Yeah,
you have like empty fucking slugs in there. They're not balls.
You could just hang a little lower, that's all.
You could get them to swap them out for giant prosthetic ones. So you could be like, check these out.
Yeah, but no.
Some Damascus.
I don't know.
Some Damascus balls.
Just the idea that you can't. I don't know if that would. I used to be like, whenever the fuck I'm done having kids, I'm going to snip it right away. But I don't know. Something changed.
Yeah.
I
worry about my testosterone levels. They're probably low enough already because of all the soy in our food. But
turning the frogs gay.
That's atrazine.
Yeah, I know.
Is that why you brought me on? It was just, you were like, we're going to get somebody who will engage with us on these wild conspiracy theories.
Finally, someone.
Okay. I did do a whole episode where I talked to Jason Knight about interdimensional aliens. And people were like, that was the best episode ever. And I was like, are you sure? Because it's
fun, though.
Yeah, but so many people have like know him from Forged in Fire. And he didn't like get the opportunity to really show who he was, I guess. You know what I mean? And he then comes on your podcast, and he's just like you said, he's just like a regular dude. Like, super easy to talk to. And
this last episode, he was talking about riding around in the back of the bed of a pickup truck, shooting signs with 22 caliber pistols.
Yeah,
and
like a Kimbo style.
Kinda, yeah, I guess.
Man, so American.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you drive around back roads here, and all the stop signs have shotgun blast holes in them. From
all the deer crossing signs are lit up.
Yeah, from dudes just, like, riding around late at night all drunk. Boom! Totally safe. It's fine. Nobody gets hurt. We're careful. Sometimes.
Keith, do we have patrons?
We do. We actually have 2 new patrons this week. You want me to read them out to you?
Yeah.
You're gonna have to help me with this Dutch guy because I can't pronounce anything. We got what?
No, we got you sent me the list, but I don't know where it is.
I know you're gonna say that, so I'll just read them anyway. We got Christoph Stiegler from Kanji Knives, Sven from Njord Artisan. Sorry, Matt. We got Johan Fagerlund from Fagerlund Bladesmith, Travis Haynes from Bird Forge, Roy Rutten, Mark Vanderwerf from 118 Blades, Shay Dachant, Albert Engelberger from our podcast here, Paul Balletta from Balletta Handmade, Coy Baker. Then we got
Pim
one of the
van
new
Delft.
patrons. Yeah, say it again.
Pim van Delft.
Okay. And Alex Greenway from Trenton Knives.
Alex Greenway.
So this Dutch guy is does like stabilized wood and stuff, I believe, right?
Yeah. Are you gonna get in business with him? You should. I put some on my website, but no one likes to buy wood from me, so it'll be better if you get in touch with him and work something out. He'll be at the Dutch Knife Show.
They have to check it out. Stabilized wood is I don't know. I'd have to see it in person. A lot of people stabilizing and not doing it very well. But
I think you'll like what he makes. But you can see it at the knife show.
I've gotten some pretty good feedback on mine, but it took a while. It took a while to get the process down.
Yeah,
you guys know how to stabilize wood? I
do. Yeah, it's a tough game. I mean, to stabilize myself, it would have to be something that I like. I don't know. It would have to be like a really important piece of wood or something because it's just not worth my time to be stabilizing. But you can just buy a nice piece of wood from somebody that knows how to do it.
For me, it was kind of almost out of necessity because I have access to so much, like really nice burl because I live in the most wooded state in America. Yeah. Like 89% of Maine is woods. And one of the biggest industries is logging, and I fix chainsaws for a day job. So
that makes complete sense.
Yeah, so I have a handful of dudes always who cut wood every day, always looking for burls for me. For them, they're trash because they want straight grain. You know, they're sending stuff off to get made into lumber. it works out. But it took a while, and it's a big initial investment. I was actually talking to somebody about it last night who was interested in getting into it, and I was like, so if you want to do it seriously, $1,000 right off the bat, and then a learning curve. I've probably ruined $1,000 worth of cactus juice now by having fucked up batches. You lose that wood, you can't restabilize it. It's just, it took a while. It took like 3 years before I finally started getting results I was happy with.
Mm.
Have you tried any other kinds of resin, or do you only work with cactus juice?
No, I only work with cactus juice. And I'm not sure, I wouldn't be opposed to trying different kinds, but I don't know if you can mix them. And I have like a whole shelf of jugs of cactus juice in different colors. So it's like, if you can't mix them, it kind of screws me. I don't know if you can mix them or not, but
I think you're not supposed to mix different resins.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, I don't think so. What kind of resin are you using, Albert? Because you do a lot of stabilizing too, right?
Yeah, the one from the German company, Harzspätzle, or Harzspätzle. It's called Wood Resin Eco. They had 2 different kinds of resins, a non-eco version and an eco version. And the non-eco version, the scent was so bad, the whole workshop was basically unusable because of the fumes. So I was complaining, and then they told me that I should get the Wood Resin Eco kind. And this one works perfect. But you have to use a hardener. It's resin and hardener. I think it's the same with cactus juice, right? You have to put in...
Yeah, an activator, and then it's...
Activator,
it's
yeah.
good for 1 year after you mix it.
Exactly, yeah, that's the same with this one.
Oh,
okay, so I can throw mine away.
Oh, maybe it's not. Eco. I'm looking it up right now, sorry.
It's called Wood Resin Eco. It's like, I think it's 250 euros for 10 liters. I don't know how much that is in Imperial.
I think 4 liters to a gallon, I think.
Yeah, it's very close to that, yeah.
So it's 2.5 gallons, 250 bucks.
Yeah, I'm not sure the exchange rate, euro to dollar, but
it's pretty close to equal.
Yeah, if you buy 1 gallon of cactus juice, which is 4 liters, it's $100.
Yeah, then it's about the same. No, it's an expensive experiment at the beginning, stabilizing, because you have to dry the wood completely, right?
That's like the most important part, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah, and then we use, it's not a trade secret, everyone knows how it works. Then we use vacuum chambers. We have, I think, 5 or 6 now. And then we keep it in there for 2 or 3 days, at least. And then we use a pressure pot with 4 bars of pressure to penetrate the wood with the resin even further.
That's where guys are going wrong. They're not using a pressure pot, and that is the key. That's the game changer. For sure. Anybody who wants to get into it and do it seriously, and you want your product to be taken seriously, you have to go pressure cycle. You can't do static soak.
Yeah.
You can see the difference if you weigh it.
Yeah, you can.
If you weigh the block after the vacuum chamber and then weigh it after you've done it in the pressure pot, you can see a huge difference in weight.
Yeah, and you can even see it from the level the resin is at when you take it out of the vacuum chamber and put it into the pressure pot, because the resin level drops further down. So the resin has gone somewhere. No, it's a good resin. We are stabilizing the woods we get from guys here, from woodworking shops and sawmills and stuff. Yeah, so locally sourced wood.
Yeah, I just pulled a piece of curly maple out of the dumpster the other day. Sometimes
you're at the source, right? For good
wood. At my day job, they were throwing away a bed frame. We burn all of the pallets because we accumulate too many. So we have a dumpster our burning dumpster. It's just we burn in it. And we took the bed frame out of the trash dumpster, and one of the cross pieces was like super curly maple, and I broke it all apart. And I was like, I'm taking that home. I finished it the other day. It came out nice. I did blue.
But maple's a relatively easy wood to stabilize.
It's my favorite. It's definitely the least amount of headache. Oak isn't bad. Takes a little longer than maple. Cherry's a pain in the ass. Anything really oily sucks. The casting resin or the stabilizing resin won't mix with oil. So if you have oil pockets in your wood or it's a super oily wood, you might as well not even try. You can cook the oil out, but it takes a while. That's why you find those woods cost more, because it took more work to get them stabilized.
So your day job is fixing, what did you say?
I'm a small engine mechanic, so lawnmowers, trimmers, chainsaws, zero-turn mowers, any air-cooled 4-stroke or 2-stroke engine.
So you're not doing the knife making full time then?
I do it 3 days a week and nights.
But how can you build like 50 or 80 knives a month or whatever it was if you're not doing it full time?
I have a very cool boss at my day job who knows that I'm irreplaceable, so he gives me a lot of freedom. Other than him, I'm the...
Because that's quite impressive.
Yeah, no, I took the entire month of February off.
Okay.
Other than him, I'm the only other master certified mechanic in the building. So, and I do everybody's job. I've been there the longest, so it would be a lot harder for him to replace me. And he knows he can't compete money-wise with what I make when I'm doing well knife making. So he gives me a lot of freedom. He's super cool.
Do you have any plans to go full-time with the knife making?
I mean, if it became impossible for me to do a day job, yeah, absolutely. You know, I mean, if I got a reoccurring order for 1,000 knives a month, obviously I'd be like, well, looks like I'm buying a CNC machine and a fucking water jet and learning how to, you know what I mean? You'd be stupid to stifle yourself. That's the opposite of growth, I think.
Yeah, but what I meant was, do you have any plans to do that? Not if
I don't plan.
If something happens,
I don't plan. I mean, I do and I don't. I know that that's ultimately the goal, but I'm a much bigger fan of things happening organically, because when they happen organically, you're less likely to fail. So I'm working towards that goal, but I'm not worried about it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, makes sense. Makes perfect sense.
Someday, either it's gonna happen or it's not gonna happen. I'm not pushing anything just because I have a day job. It's like I'm trying for growth and big moves and batch orders and revenue and making sales and paying taxes and doing it the right way. So I'm hoping, at some point, just the law of attraction, I'm going to manifest it and I'll get more reoccurring larger orders. Right now I have 2 restaurants. Someday I might have 5. At that point,
But do you do mostly custom work or is it batch work for...
I close my books for custom orders. I hate custom orders. I hate them.
Okay.
Customers always want dumb shit. They never... I saw this in a movie and I want a chef knife that looks like Rambo's knife and just dumb shit. And I'm never excited about it. I never am into them. So I prefer... Now I don't do custom orders, and when I'm not doing batches, I don't have any batch work on order, I'll just make what I want and sell it. And I find that the stuff that I make, that I want to make, sells better anyways. Because whatever you make, you're going to post, and whatever you post is what people are going to buy. So if you're doing custom orders and you hate it, you're perpetuating your own cycle, because you're going to post that custom order, and then some other idiot's going to see it, and they're going to go, I want that same knife, and then you're making multiples of knives you hate.
Yeah, that's what we've been talking about last week with Eric. The risk of doing custom work is that you're building the same knife over and over again, whether or not you like it or not.
Right, because it's what you're posting. Yeah. It's
or what people see in your shop. I mean, even if you don't post it, custom orders happen. Usually, if they do not happen online, they happen in your shop, and then they see the knives in your shop. The ones you just built for some other customer, and you start building the same knives over and over again.
Yeah, a great example is a knife I'm working on right now. It's I don't know if you guys saw it on my IG, but it's like a Bokery is what somebody called it. It's a big fuck off chopper with a micarta handle, and I've never made anything like it before. It's 18 inches.
With micarta pins, right? Is it?
Micarta on micarta with micarta. I love micarta. I'd work with only micarta if I could. I know it's a difficult material, but once you do it enough, anything becomes. And I'd never made anything like it, and I've had people be like, "Oh, can I buy that? Oh, can you make one just like it? Can you know what I mean?" So it's whatever you're posting is what you're gonna sell. If you're doing custom orders, you're gonna be posting shit you hate.
It depends on your process. I mean, the process Eric described last week, he has a lot of creative freedom with his custom order.
Right, and that depends on the maker too. I give people 100% control. Like, you're paying me to make you something, I'll make whatever you want. But you also got to be honest if you're not capable or if it's not feasible. But if he's, so it sounds like he's like almost the opposite of that, where he's like, I want the control. That's fine. I mean, as long as your clientele is cool with it, then do it up.
Yeah. I mean, with Eric, the customer still has the feeling that he is involved somehow because he gets to come up with 2 words so that he can build a knife around these 2 words.
Yeah.
Or with these 2 words in mind. But yeah, he basically makes a knife by himself. That's right. Yeah.
Before I made that leap, when I was doing custom orders, I would ask them 2 colors. What's your favorite 2 colors? And then that gives me like range on the handle coloring. But most of the time people wanted diamond grinds. They wanted that K-tip Gyudo that I made 100 of with a diamond grind in it. And like I said earlier, they suck. They're a lot of work. I don't feel justified in raising my prices past a point that I think my knives are worth just because it took me more time. So I just stopped doing them.
But you do mostly stock removal, right?
All stock removal. I don't forge.
All stock removal.
Yeah, I heat treat in a kiln. I catch a lot of slack for that too.
Why?
Because there's a certain level of like, oh, you're not doing it right because you're not forging. You know, like there's an attitude around forging, like a superiority complex almost.
That's bullshit.
Fuck that.
Fuck that. Yeah, doing a proper stock removal knife is as hard as doing a proper forged knife. I mean, right? I
say it to Noah all the time. I'm like, same result, extra steps. Why would I do that?
Yeah, I mean, forging Damascus is something else. That's pretty interesting, I think. But I don't really see the point in forging a monosteel blade.
Yeah, and I'm not talking about Damascus. I'm talking about forging a blade to shape, because I would love to set myself up to make my own Damascus, because right now I buy it off people. Or like I've got integrals because I wanted to do an integral, but I had to have somebody make me an integral blank because I'm a stock removal guy. So, you know, there's places for us all in the market. Just whatever. Stop giving me shit.
In your market, yeah.
Yeah, I don't care. Whatever. Just leave me alone. Let me do my thing. I don't like open flame either. So what? My garage is 12 feet away from my house and I have cedar shake siding. I do not want to burn my entire life down. So, whatever.
When you do buy Damascus, where are you getting it from?
Baker Forge, or I have some Timber Tiger stuff. I got some Sami from him. Baker Forge, you know, he sponsors me. I'm a huge fan of Micah Dunn, and he's a good buddy of mine from MD Edgeworks, and he makes some really nice Damascus. I don't have to buy it because I have such an abundance of handle material. I can trade for it, which is nice. I love to swap trade over giving physical cash, because it works for everybody. You know, if I get $400 worth of Damascus and I send you $500 worth of handle material, but the handle material only costs me $50, it works out. Like I had a bunch of steel I wasn't going to use because I do a lot of stainless and stuff. So I had a lot of 1095 laying around from earlier on when you first start knife making, you buy whatever everybody else says to use. And so I just sent it off to Micah and I said, make me whatever and send it back. And I'll send you some blocks, and it works out.
Albert makes a lot of Damascus.
A lot.
It's also a time management thing too, because you're getting into, like, yes, all of these skills are adjacent to each other, but they're completely different disciplines. Like, making Damascus is its whole own thing. It's its whole other thing. You need a whole other set of tools, you know,
and skills
and skills and time and patience
and knowledge.
Yeah, and hours and hours of repetition to get good at anything. Same with forging out blades. I had to talk a few months back with a buddy of mine who was like, we've been making the same amount of time, but your grinds are better than mine. I don't understand it. And I was like, it's super easy to understand. You forge. I don't. You spent 50% of your time learning to forge. I spent 100% of my time learning to grind.
So you're double.
Right.
Time.
Makes sense. I was like, yeah, it makes perfect sense. I am pretty smart.
Yeah. There was the main accent. I just heard it.
Do you guys talk about the main accent over there? I'm told it's fairly notorious worldwide.
No,
there's some movies, you know, but
yeah, but they usually like bad interpretations of the accent, like these actors.
Yeah, they mix up a Boston accent and a Maine accent.
Yeah, exactly.
They're similar, but not the same.
Boston.
The Boston and New York accents and New Jersey are the most unattractive accents on the planet.
New Jersey, yeah, definitely.
Maine it's just a weird twang to it, like you say "car" instead of "car."
Car.
Or "car."
You replace every letter R with an H.
Yeah, an AH.
Yeah.
Like we don't say lobster, we say lobster. You get some lobster, Bob. And then you get like real old timers, like dudes who, like when they were children, were shitting in outhouses. They come in and they have like a Husqvarna tractor, and they're like, it's 24 horse.
A horse, yeah. My dad says horse.
Yeah. Maine's a weird state. Where I'd say Maine and Alaska are pretty weird.
I have a special question for Ryan. I stopped doing this skit, but I'm gonna bring it back just for you.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, I don't have any music for that one. Go for it.
Why don't you have any music for that? You have music for fucking everything.
I thought I did, but I don't have one for that skit.
Shit. Okay. It's a would you rather question, but then a rather disturbing one.
All right.
Okay. Would you rather have sex with the hottest person you know that's freshly dead, or have sex with the ugliest and smelliest person, but they're alive?
What kind of question is that?
It's a good question. It's the freshly dead that's like if
would I rather crack open a cold one or bang a swill pig? I'm gonna have to go with the swill pig because it's consensual. And
do you
gross,
need consent?
No? I'm not in.
Like, I've asked this question before. I don't know who it was, but the question.
Is this a segment you stopped doing?
Yeah.
All right, good. Okay.
Good. He feels good.
I'll participate this time, but
it's funny though. It's like I forgot who it was. God damn it! Like freshly dead could be like, and the question that arose after that was like, is it still 37 degrees or not? That makes a difference.
And that's a wrap, ladies and gentlemen.
No. Don't fucking end it on this.
Yeah, don't end it there.
That was the easy answer though, because I mean, I'm not judging Ryan, but I'm guessing from your lifestyle that you've probably taken one for the team in your day, so it's not like something you haven't done before.
I've been I've been with my wife for 11 years. I don't even remember what another vagina looks like.
That's good. You should.
I mean, I'd like to remember. It'd be nice to like reminisce in your mind sometimes, but I don't remember. It's so long ago now. It's okay.
But okay, so did
wait a minute. What are you saying? Are you saying you assume I fuck fat chicks?
No, I'm just saying that you probably have at some point in your
You made
life,
it sound like you fucked everything
taken one for the team
that was alive. Exactly. So
no, not really.
You only fucked like hot hookers.
I am. Yeah, I mean, I was very promiscuous in between marriages, but I've never been one for the fat girls. No offense to the large ladies, it's just not my thing. I'm not saying thick girls, I'm saying fat girls. There's a difference.
Yeah. That's definitely a difference. But you think it's good that we took out this kid?
Yes.
Why?
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, maybe keep the skit, change the question.
No, it's not the same question every time. I have 50 of these questions.
Give me another question then.
No, you don't want another question. Then it's not going to get better.
They don't get any better.
I have one worse one that was reserved for Honor, but he wrecked it.
I can handle an Honor level question. I feel like me and Honor are on close levels in our personalities. That's why he says that I'm going to be the next co-host of the Hustle and Grind UK.
That would be a fucking upgrade.
Poor Toby. He gets it from all directions.
Oh, well, he's a friend, so this is how we talk on a daily basis. Okay, you ready?
Yes, I'm turning my mic down because I got a warning.
Would you rather... What was the question? Oh, yeah, okay. Would you rather drink a cup of your mom's period blood or a cup of your dad's cum?
Dude. Next question.
I tried to warn you. Yeah, you wanted it. This is Honor level. He answered already by this time.
You reserve that one for Honor.
Yeah. He answered it with no hesitation.
What was his answer?
Both.
He wanted both mixed together.
Yeah.
And
then he was like that he was already
slushy.
He already came out of his mom's vagina, so it wasn't that bad, and he was made out of his dad's cums anyway. So
that was where my mind was leaning. That you are already your dad's cum, so it's like eating a booger. You might as well just whatever.
I'd go for that too, man. Just because I don't know why, but that's the first thing that came up to me. Like. And I'm a visual guy, so if I just imagine it, like I don't know. Well, it's also gay if you do so.
Yeah, but period blood's fucking gross.
Ew. Yeah. But you have to choose.
I already said dad's cum. Plus, I don't know my dad, so it'd be like a stranger. Stranger's cum.
Okay, that's a good thing then. Done. Okay, no more fucked up questions.
Dude, you just ruined this whole show.
Yeah, sorry.
Albert will edit that out.
No. Fucking hell. They always threaten with taking everything out.
And then it becomes a contest, so to see how far you can go before we take shit out.
Yeah, I don't know how far. Like I can't imagine worse, like more fucked up questions than that.
I mean, you could tell some dead baby jokes.
Yes, I could. Yeah.
I mean, if you really want to push the limit, bro.
Yeah. Oh man, I saw like a documentary about that in some cultures they fucking eat the babies that don't survive.
That's birth.
Fucking hell, dude. Like,
I mean, I thought doulas were gross enough. I have a friend that's a doula, so she's licensed to prepare placentas for people for consumption or like keychains.
Yeah, they can get the fuck out of here. That's disgusting.
She's one of my favorite people in the world, and I openly tell her, I'm like, I do not understand.
No.
I cannot wrap my head around it. No. But she's like, it's beautiful. And I was like, all right.
There's nothing beautiful about that. No.
This show we went downhill really fast.
Yeah.
I mean, we were going good, and then
we're agreeing like within 2.5 5 milliseconds.
I mean, I'm just going to say those questions ended at 1:47 on the counter. I was looking.
Shut the hell up.
Just, podcast habits, but Noah's going to listen to this and quit the hustle and grind.
Yeah, he's like, you're done.
It's my show, so he'd have to quit. He'd be like, I'm done. And then I'd have to replace him, which would suck. I couldn't find anybody better, but...
I heard Toby's going to be available.
Toby has shit Wi-Fi.
He does.
He was on an episode recently. Not recently, but like a year ago. And his Wi-Fi kept cutting out. Like, I don't know if it's like a UK thing. You guys can't afford good routers or...
Don't say UK and then you guys.
No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, Toby, upgrade your fucking Wi-Fi router, bro.
That was a bad episode, and they aired it too. It was like somebody would talk, and then 5 minutes later, they'd be talking over each other because the other guy was answering something from before.
Yeah, it was one of the Tobias episodes.
Oh, yeah, I listened to that one. Yeah.
I probably shouldn't have released it, but, Oh,
Fuck it.
It's out there.
Fuck it. We're here?
I heard it in my headphones, or erasing on a piece of paper.
Damn it. Okay, I'll stop.
All right, so we got to recover before we end this. We can't end coming off of those questions. I'm just trying to help you guys out. I'm just,
Yeah, Albert, come on.
From one
Bring us back
podcast to another.
something good.
I mean, now that you've made this a politics podcast, we have to invite him again.
I didn't plan that either. I didn't expect that either.
I know.
I did.
And I never gave any opinions. I just said what some people think may be happening.
I know. But Matt's not short on opinions.
Tinfoil hat, man. I love it.
He's very willing to give opinions.
Conspiracy theories are just like, it's not the same as it used to be. That's more like fortune telling these days.
It's still the same.
It's not the same.
We can't end on this either. We can't end on conspiracy.
Just don't bring it up. Jesus.
I didn't. Albert did.
No, Matt did.
Oh, Matt did. My bad.
Matt did.
Yeah, in the beginning. Yeah. I've been waiting for someone to, that's actually not scared to speak on such things.
I don't think before I speak ever. So it's
good.
Like,
that's good.
It's kind of a curse. I don't know how good it is. It's gotten me in trouble before, but I'm always good for that. So if any other podcasts out there want somebody who's totally off the cuff,
totally unhinged.
Thanks.
All right. I think before we end it, Ryan should tell us where we can go and pick up some of your knives. Where can we find you?
Instagram, Ryan Chadbourne Knife Works, one word. Facebook. If you're on Facebook, it's not the account that's my logo. It's the account of a cartoon guy pointing like "pay me" in his hand.
Also, you can only order knives if you order 50.
I mean, well,
30 will do, but preferably 50.
I would do a batch of 5. So if somebody was like, I want to buy an EDC for me and all my buddies, and I get big discounts because I do batch work. So like my normal EDC, if you buy one, is $150. If you buy 3 or more, it's $125. So it's like, yeah, because I prefer to do batch work. But I mean, if somebody pays me enough, I'll make anything.
$20 is $20.
Right. It's So if you're asking me, if you message me and you're like, I want this wild fucking custom piece, even though I don't do custom orders, you're gonna pay Ryan doesn't do custom orders prices. So just so you know,
good plan.
My happiness or my contentment in life is very important to me because I work way too much to be miserable.
It's a good exit statement.
Right. I mean, if you don't do that, you'll just die of a stress-induced heart attack at 45.
And once that, right on, man.
I appreciate you guys having me on. This has been fun.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for coming. Yeah.
I'll come back on anytime. Don't ask me about drinking any weird shit next time, but we're good.
Yeah.
I'll find a better question.
Yeah, no fucking dead bodies and none of that. It's we're good to go. Are you gonna edit that part out?
Nope.
Oh. You do what you want. It's fine.
Yeah, it's Europe, man. We can do whatever we want.
All right, guys.
Someone was offended by that. They can shove it up their ass.
You cunts.
Yeah, cunts. Okay.
We'll catch you guys next week then. Same time, same channel.
If God is willing.
All right. Thanks again, Ryan, for joining us.
Yeah, anytime, man.
Thanks,
Anytime.
yeah.
It's nice to get onto another show.
Do the fucking music.